Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name's Noelle and I do unboxings, mostly lifestyle subscription boxes like the one I have to share with you today, but also books, beauty, jewelry, travel, home decor, the very occasional dash of Disney. So if you enjoy unboxings and subscription boxes in particular, I hope you'll consider subscribing to my channel and hitting the notification bell. And that way you'll find out whenever I post new videos, announce giveaways, go live. As always, if you're already subscribed, thank you so much for being here and welcome back. This might feel like deja vu because I have already opened an Alltrue Winter 2021-22 box. I actually got 2 of them this season because I thought that the winter selections were actually pretty good for a change. We'll talk about the spring box a little bit here if we have a chance. But I actually received my first box, which is part of my annual membership, way at the beginning of the shipping cycle, so I was really happy with that. And if you haven't checked that out, check it out. But then after I'd already been billed for that and I knew what all of the selections were, they did what they do every single year, which is offer a really great Black Friday deal where I was able to get another box for half off, essentially for $24.95. It was before the little price increase. So I went ahead and did it, and this was the first time that I actually emailed them and asked if I could customize my box, even though it was actually a seasonal subscription that I got on Black Friday, and they did let me do that, and I did get the confirmation email. So that's the first time I've taken advantage of that little loophole that sometimes they honor, sometimes they don't. I will not be getting a second box for spring because, again, I am not super excited about the selections. In fact, I thought that with the winter box they were really kind of making a turnaround. They were turning that corner in terms of giving us that nice balance of really usable, eco-conscious, very sustainable goods, but also with an element of delight. And spring box, you guys, has a lot of throwbacks as well as just a lot of items I am just not that excited about. Very usable, still a fantastic value, but I would rather pick out my own items sometimes. So anyway, they have gone up in price $5, so it is now $59.95 per quarter, but if you do the annual membership, you get the perks of being able to customize your box, which is definitely, I think, worth putting up the money ahead of time if you possibly can, and then you save that $5 back off. I will leave a link for you in the description box below so that you can save $10 if you are interested in the spring items. If you're a new subscriber, you might actually be interested in some of the throwback items. You might feel like you have a little bit more choice in the customization. So it's definitely worth checking out because, again, the value is always there, even though I think sometimes the prices, especially on the collaborations that they do with companies, is a little bit elevated. I think the value is still there, and that is the case with the bigger quarterly lifestyle subscriptions. They just have the buying power that a lot of the smaller businesses don't have, so they get us great deals, and you can't deny that. So let's go ahead and get into it. It's actually the same pattern but a slightly different size because of the selections that I made. I believe I was able to make all different selections in all 6 categories except for maybe one. I think I liked the product so much that, or I thought I would like the product so much because I hadn't received that first box yet when I did customize, that I got a duplicate. So the nice thing about me getting this box so late in the shipping season, in fact, I've already gotten my spring box from a lot of other subscriptions and I'm still getting a winter box. Unfortunately, some of the winter items are a little bit out of season, especially for someone who lives in a warm climate like I do. But the nice thing is now I can kind of report back to you on the items that I did receive in my first winter box in terms of how well I used them or how much I used them and what I thought about the product. So we'll try to go over that if we can. So we got our All Good Things Alltrue magazine. Now I think that the rebranding they did a few seasons ago, it did honestly seem to mark a kind of a change in terms of it not being so cause oriented, but in terms of the actual branding, the look of it, it honestly feels a lot the same. So let's just go ahead and turn. So they do a nice little magazine where they kind of feature things. I'm really glad that they went back to this magazine format in terms of telling us all of the items instead of that big fold out sheet that they had for a couple of seasons. So I'll just go over it as much as I can with you guys as we go through. I'll talk about the items that I received in the first box as well as the ones that I got this time around. I got a little card in here telling you that you can win a membership if you share on social and do some free marketing for them, essentially. So I'm not probably going to post anything on social anymore for Alltrue just because this is such a late box for instance. So they do have a nice art postcard that they always include by the artist that does the box, so that is a duplicate obviously, but I know a lot of people like to collect those. So let's just talk about the item that was a duplicate for me this time around. This is the 6th choice category. So you could have chosen In the sixth choice, you could have chosen the Mud Masky Cleansing Mask or the dozen silicone baking cups, which now I'm kind of wishing I had gotten because I realized people have been making their little like breakfast omelets in that, which I thought was a really good idea. And then I think there was one other choice besides the one that I got, so let me just double check. So there were actually only the 3 choices: the Mud Masky Cleansing Mask, the dozen silicone baking cups, which does seem useful if you do a lot of baking or use muffin tins quite a bit. And then I actually did a duplicate choice, which is the Woolsey's linen and laundry spray set. My husband has been in love with these. He's like spritzing them in the rooms, on our linens, on our bed, on the little dryer balls that we have from another box. So he's gonna be really happy because he's been going through these like faster than I thought was possible. So these have a $16.99 value. What was kind of crazy, and I always hate this when any box does this, where the items in the categories have very big discrepancies in price, in value. So the dozen silicone baking cups had a value of $15.99, so that's like $1 less than these. The other item, which you kind of almost sometimes feel like you need to choose if you don't have like a preference off the bat, was the Mud Masky Cleansing Mask, and that had a $59 value, which I thought was like kind of crazy to put that in there. So it has 3 different scents. There is the Still Breeze, which is lavender and jasmine, the Citrus Clean, which is my favorite. It is lemon, orange, and lemongrass, and the Petal Fresh, which is floral rose and smoky sandalwood, and it's not too heavy on the rose, so I am enjoying that one as well, although I'm happy that we got another citrus one because that's the ones I've been going through. So the next item that I'm seeing right on top, let me see if I can find that. So this is in category 4. So in category 4, there were, let's see how many choices. I'm seeing 1, 2. They could like organize this still a little bit better. They used to do it a little bit better. So I think there were only 2 choices in category 4, which that is the case with some of the categories in the spring box, and sometimes it's in a category where there's multiple throwbacks, so it's almost like the choice is made for you, which is kind of a bummer to me. I feel like it should be where there's like 5 to 6 choices, especially if 2 or 3 of them are repeats. So I went for, instead of these earrings, which I actually really love threader earrings, so I was super happy to get these. I almost got another pair of these to gift, but I figured I wanted to show you guys the other items in the box. So these Lameno 4th choice category earrings had a value of $49, and the other option was this, the Castana hand and foot cream duo, so I got the 2, and that has a value of $36. So again, a little bit of a higher value. This is the first time I've honestly been pretty happy with a jewelry piece from Alltrue or Causebox. So it says, deeply nourishing yet quickly absorbent, this moisturizing combo is made from castana nut, also known as Brazil nut, and rich enough to soothe even the most dry, cracked winter skin. So they are BIPOC owned and run, cruelty-free and vegan. So I love that it is sustainable, of course, formulated with fair trade ingredients sourced from the Amazon, such as castana, acai, ucuba, patua, gathered by local Amazonian communities. Natura's work benefits and promotes sustainable development for 5,500 families who help conserve the greatest tropical forest in the world. So it's this nice metal tube. These always kind of get very bent up, so I'm glad that they came in a nice little box. So I can always use a hand and a foot cream. So I thought it was nice to go ahead and try the other option in that particular category. Then we had our 5th category, where there was a festive nail polish bundle. You guys know I usually get my nails done at the salon, so that's not like super useful to me, and I just wasn't super fond of the 2 colors. It was like a dark burgundy and a very like light pastel blue. That bundle had a $21.99 value. And then there was also in the 5th choice category, which I did get in my first box, the eucalyptus scented shower steamers. Those were amazing. They were so strong, had a value of $22. You got, I think, 6 of them, maybe 5 of them in there, but they were awesome. So I kind of 4 of them. I wish that I had chosen that again because I enjoyed them so much. They were really powerful shower steamers that really like cleansed my sinuses, made me feel really refreshed. Instead, I went with the highest valued item this time around, just again to do something different. And this is the Brow Atelier Brow Enhancing Serum. Had a value of $70. Says if the eyes are a window to the soul, that makes your brows the frame. Changing your brow shape can have a remarkable impact on the way your face looks. If you've been needing to do a little restoration work, looking at you, recovering over pluckers, this brow serum is for you, made with all clean ingredients and a fully cruelty-free formula. This brow enhancing serum restores sparse or thinning brows naturally, encouraging growth with all natural ingredients. Apply daily before bed and see results within 4 to 6 weeks. So nice packaging. I know there's like a little button that you click to kind of get the serum to come down to the brush, so it does have kind of like a paintbrush effect. Let's see if I can open it up. So you just kind of click this at the end, probably like a few times for the first use, and then a couple times each time you use it. So I have very thin eyebrows, which it's not necessarily from overplucking. I've just always had really thin eyebrows, so I figured this was definitely worth trying. I just clicked the button. It is vegan and cruelty-free, paraben, sulfate, and phthalate-free, so, and it did have that super high value, so even though I love the shower steamers, I thought this was a good option, and we'll see how it goes. Hopefully I can report back to you, because hopefully I get my spring box. I did not skip. I'm gonna go ahead and get it because I feel like I need to review it for you guys. I'll let you know if it's working, or maybe you'll be able to tell if it's working on the channel. So the next item that I got, now here is an example of something that was a very wintry item, which I honestly will probably be saving now for next year, and this was the second category. So in the second category, there was the Vadam tea set. You guys know, if you've been watching my channel for a while, I just have an abundance of tea, didn't need the tea set. They had the luxury anti-aging skincare, which had a whopping value of $232. Now, does that seem fair when it is in the same category as these $27.99 socks? So I think that is kind of crazy to have those in the same category. That's like not even close. It's like an over $200 difference, which is just ridiculous. And I even think the socks are kind of overvalued, in all honesty, even though they're pretty cute, and I would definitely be wearing them in the winter. But again, it is kind of warming up. I live in a pretty warm climate here in Southern California, so I'm probably going to save them for next year because they came so gosh darn late. So it says, based in British Columbia, Pudis knows a thing or two about warming up cold feet with a faux Sherpa lining and no slip grips along the bottom. These part slipper socks keep toes toasty, wear for cozy hot cocoa evenings or hardwood floor dance parties. The classic plaid pattern is perfect for holiday festivities. Holiday festivities, eh? Like St. Patrick's Day? It says, made with recycled materials. Approximately 15 water bottles were repurposed to produce each pair of socks. I do like that. I think that's awesome. Diverting these from landfills and keeping materials in use. I think that is awesome when people use water bottles to create things. And the other choice that I got the first time around that was in the second category was the dip bowls, which I actually really love those bowls. They were in beautiful patterns of blue and white, so I'm glad that I got those. I'm okay with the fact that I got the slipper socks, but now that it came so late and I can't even use them until next year, I kind of wish I had gotten the luxury anti-aging skincare set, which here it's saying that it is Leaping Bunny certified, which means that it's vegan and cruelty-free, but I know a lot of you have some trepidation about the Symbiosis brand, so you can let me know about that, and if any of you got that, let me know. So another item that is very wintry that I wound up getting for the third category, which I'm probably going to hold on to again, is now this Jules K pom-pom beanie. I thought that I might be able to send it to someone as a gift. Now, in all honesty, when I did the Black Friday sale, I did not have any illusions of getting it in time for the holidays. What's kind of crazy to me is that it's almost like the end of March, so I'm going to have to wait on gifting this to someone else. So it does have this faux fur palm on the top. It's this nice soft chenille. It's a good color. I think that the retail value of $48 is a bit ridiculous. It says, perfect for snow days, winter walks, or those afternoons when your apartment is inexplicably freezing. Made with a super soft recycled polyester and acrylic, this beanie features a cozy cable knit material and playful pom-pom. For both the style savvy and comfort seekers, the effortless cool of Jules K outerwear and accessories make pulling together a winter look that much easier. So it is women owned and run. It says a portion of the profits of this beanie were donated to Direct Relief, an organization that equips doctors and nurses while life-saving medical resources to care for the world's most vulnerable people with life-saving resources. Okay, so the other options in this category, the third category, was a beautiful blue table runner. I don't actually have a dining table or any sort of credenza to use it on, so that wasn't a good choice for me. What I chose the first time around, I think actually had the highest value in the third category. So third category had three choices, and that was the Continental Snap Wallet from Larks and Ives, which was in that really pretty Bordeaux color, and I actually really liked it. I know a lot of people were very unhappy with it, but I used used it on my last international trip and it was perfect. It was a little bit smaller than the wallet that I used from day to day because I didn't need to have as many of my cards and my like loyalty cards and stuff, but it did actually fit not only my vaccination card, which I did travel with because it was international, but also my passport fit into one of the bigger pockets very nicely, very discreetly, and it still snapped closed. So I was actually really happy with that Continental snap wallet, but that's another example of something where I didn't really need like a duplicate of it. So I believe that our first category was kind of the hero category for winter. So you could have gotten the throwback, which was the Sisu poncho wrap, which I know a lot of people absolutely love. That has $110 value. You could have gotten the Graflon's carry-on weekend traveler, which is actually what I received the first time around, and I did use that on my trip as well. I Scotch guarded it. It still got a little bit scuffed up, but I figured like I don't mind. The only thing that I noticed with that weekender, which is a little bit awkward, is that if you don't have that bottom compartment full, like and nice and sturdy, then it makes the rest of the bag very unstructured and unsteady. So I had to always be like making sure that I had like nice even amounts of things in that bottom compartment so that I didn't have like one side of the rest of the bag of the larger compartment kind of sagging to one side. So you had to create like a base in there, and sometimes I didn't have a base in there. Then the other thing that I noticed, there was no interior pockets, which I would have loved just one slip pocket. Might have made it a little bit easier to have some smaller items in there. And the height of the main compartment wasn't quite enough. It was just enough for like a file folder where I kept a lot of my travel documents, but it was a little bit tricky. I had to kind of curve things over to actually zip it closed every time. So I wanted just a little bit more height and then some sort of thing where I could have some structure in that bottom compartment, some maybe like wire or something, so that even when that's empty, it doesn't like ruin the structure of the rest of the bag. So that was my report on that. The other options in the first choice besides that Sisu wrap were a set of steel containers that had a value of $50. The bag, by the way, you guys, was the highest valued item at $158. It was not worth $158. I don't think it was worth $100, but it was definitely worth getting. It had a really nice look to it. They also had a foldable yoga mat, which was $85, which, you know, yoga mats can be very expensive, but not usually the travel ones at that price. And then finally, you could have gotten what I chose this time around, which I do believe was in that first category, which is the Home Plush throw blanket, which I do think looks really nice. It does kind of have some lines in it, so it has a little bit of texture. This is like one of the lower valued items in this category at just $75, well, compared to the tins, which had an only $50 value. I just thought it looked really nice and cozy. Again, here's another winter item, so it's kind of confusing to me that the first box that I got didn't have very many winter items, and I got that early in the shipping cycle. This one that has a bunch of winter items, the socks, the blanket, and the beanie, I'm getting in late March. So that was like a little bit of poor planning, I think, on their end. It says a luxe, much loved addition to any living space, so soft and snuggleable. You won't believe it's made from recycled polyester. This Home throw blanket is a favorite for work from couch days and not going to make it out to night evenings. Drape it over your afternoon armchair, fold it at the foot of your bed. The warm tones and sophisticated texture add to that modern yet inviting home aesthetic. It is woman-owned, minority-owned AAPI business. So it says 10% of all Home sales are donated to local organizations that help the homeless. It is made again of 100% recycled polyester. It says this partnership provided 100 blankets to Housing Works, an organization in New York whose mission is to end the dual crises of homelessness and AIDS through advocacy and other services. So vegan, charitable, cruelty-free, recycled materials. You would think, considering the number of blankets they probably got for this box, we could have donated a little bit more than just 100 in all honesty. So that's kind of crazy to me, but I do think that's a nice item, even though it was like one of the lower valued items in that category. So again, category 1 had 5 choices. I had gotten the bag the first time. I got the plush throw this time. Category 2 had 4 choices. The first time I got the really cool dipping bowls that I'm very happy with, and this time around I got the classic slipper socks a little bit late in the season. For the third choice, there were 3 choices, I believe. First time around, I got the wallet, which I actually loved, and this time I got the palm beanie. In the fourth category, there were 2 choices. This time, instead of the lovely earrings, which I do like, I got the hand and foot cream duo. Fifth category had 2 choices. 3 choices, excuse me. This time, instead of getting the eucalyptus shower steamers, I got the brow enhancing serum. And finally, the 6th category had just 3 choices, and this time I got the same thing, which was the laundry and linen spray set. So I liked my first box a lot more. I was trying to do some different choices this time around to see the products. You know, I kind of wish that I had just gotten duplicates of a lot of things, but it was such a good deal for $25. I'm not upset. I just wish it had come a little bit sooner in the season. You guys let me know what you were thinking about the spring box. If you can, I would say skip it in all honesty, unless you really like a lot of those items and you are new to Alltrue. Let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you all very, very soon in my next unboxing.